You can see the what are you on? Your computer or your phone Computer like last time, right?
Yeah. I can see the bottom like welcome to bigger than basketball.
Yeah, that's the good stuff. That's the stuff that I saw you reading. See.
I'm goated.
Yo. What is that? That's LeBron. That's LeBron on there. It looks nothing like him.
No, that's Alex Caruso.
Oh, I'm about to say. And Alex Caruso with you?
Yeah. He's good.
Brandon loves him for no reason.
What do you mean? He makes all the right plays.
He makes all the right plays. He's the type of player. He's that player that just doesn't do too much. He just does like everything he's supposed to do and stuff like that. That's hilarious. All right, Park is about to come on. Park had to download Chrome.
Yeah, I think I had to do the same.
He said he was whatever. So I want you guys to see the background. It's blocked out, but as you can see, I put the big three behind us. Kyrie, you see the Brooklyn, and I tried to put the
You put James Harden in the middle.
Yeah, he's definitely in the middle. Well, that's the only one I could find. I wasn't looking like in depth with it. I was like, F that. So I was like, whatever. But yeah. So let me put that logo up there. Do you see the logo?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm gonna hit us with an intro. I want Park to come. You guys are gonna laugh with this intro. Please, I hope to God, YouTube is on some BS sometimes. And I was telling Austin, they don't allow you to play highlights. I wish we could like watch the game right now and talk like we can watch it on the live like this, but they don't allow you to watch highlights. But we can. What I have is like Skip and Shannon and them talking about it. So I want us to like react off that, like watch that, and then we can pause it. You can talk about it, and then that'll like bring the conversation going. So hopefully they don't do nothing stupid with that and try to kick us off. But this first introduction is gonna be a classic, and you guys are gonna laugh. When you guys hear this, you're gonna be like, I'm stupid. So I want to wait for Park to come before I kick it off and throw everything in. But so it's gonna be pretty much just not all Brooklyn Nets. We can go anywhere because you know how conversations go. Sometimes they go other places, but
yeah,
like Brooklyn Nets. So we'll do it from the beginning. Did y'all watch the first game when they played?
Yeah, I watched a little bit of it.
Yeah, I watched a little bit.
I tried to get as many highlights as I could because I knew we were doing this.
Yeah, they look. Because you said you had a strong opinion about this one.
Yeah,
we know you love KD. You know that's your favorite player.
Weirdo. They all three of them are weird.
Yeah.
They like belong together.
This is a match made in heaven.
At least off the court. They can all be weird together. And
man, you couldn't put crazier people together like this. This is.
I
mean, James Harden less so, but Kyrie and Kevin Durant. What the?
I don't think James really has any problems. He just be chilling. Like he just be chilling.
He likes to go to strip clubs.
Yeah,
I think that's it. That's like his biggest fault. Yeah. He loves women, which is not a bad thing.
Yeah.
Biggest thing. But KD and Kyrie could be off the rocker a little bit sometimes. They're lucky, but they're so good. So I think they do that even more so because they're so good. So it doesn't matter how they are. They're gonna always be a top player on the team because they're so good. You're not gonna not have them on your team. That makes no sense.
Yeah, no, you're right. But it pissed me off more that they are so good and like Kevin Durant just be worried about everything and everybody and like what?
Yeah,
like yo, and like Kyrie's just a whole nother story. I don't know what's wrong with him.
What's wrong with him? Oh man,
like he's on another planet.
I think I was talking to my friends about this the other day, and I think with him, he enjoys playing basketball, but he doesn't enjoy the things that come along with being an NBA.
The extra stuff. That's a good point. I think that's always been my mentality with him too. Is the same thing I thought.
Yeah. That makes sense. Yeah, but like I mean, at this point, how many years has he been in the league now?
27, 28. He's like 28 or 27. So yeah.
He's been in the shit
since 19. 8 years. 7.
No.
7, 8.
Yeah. Wait. Who do you lose to? You Mercer or Lehigh? Mercer, right?
Yeah, they lost.
Is that who they lost to?
Yeah. I think
he only played like what 6 games, right? Or 2?
Like 11 games.
Yeah,
it's like 11 games with a total of like 30 minutes.
That's crazy. He's always hurt. It's always something. Like, it's always something it's always something crazy. It's something like a sprain wrist keeps him out for a month or something. It's like it's the craziest thing with him. Man.
Injuries that like nobody else gets weird as fuck. But he always somehow comes back. It's not like the injuries he gets don't attract other injuries that would make that injury worse. If that makes sense. Like if you tear your ACL, that's going to attract like a meniscus or something. Injury. Kyrie just gets injuries all over his body, and like I don't know, it's weird.
What are you saying? Like compensate for each one? You're saying?
Yeah, right. Like
so, like if he hurts 1 point, like he'll like so if like mess up your knee,
he doesn't have to overcompensate. Like he gets weird injuries. Like I don't know.
Got it. I mean, it's weird. We could talk about it's because there's just some people because I love you guys know I love Chris Paul. There's just some people that just get hurt. Like, why the hell do you always get hurt? And like, you just be always, and it's always like something crazy. Like the worst time Chris Paul ever got hurt, and what I'm about to say. Is oh my God, they were gonna beat Golden State, and then I will never forget he made this shot.
Think they would have won. They would have won the chip.
Yo, that was the weirdest injury. What did he do?
No, so he hits the shot and does the little shimmy shake at Steph or whatever. I'm like, yo, then. He's just in the fourth quarter. They're up by like 8-10, so the game's about to be done. Then he pulls his hamstring on the thing. And just pulls his ham. I'm like, bro, are you?
Oh, that is me. Okay. The weirdest injury is me when you ran into his hand.
That's the one that I was mad at. That's the worst injury. I was like, damn, this sucks.
I don't understand how he did that. He didn't do anything to break his hand. It just like he like flexed it and it broke.
Like we just said before, some people just are just it sucks to say are just injury prone and just get like injuries. It just gets some weird, crazy. Like LeBron is such a different specimen. Like that's not normal. Like that's not.
Yeah. Like he'll get hurt and then he'll be on the ground for like 2 seconds and then just be fine. Like,
like he twists his ankle and he ties it up his back. Paul Pierce twists his ankle. He's getting carried off in a wheelchair.
That's just because he
take a chance.
Lamar Jackson.
All right, guys. So we'll start it up. So before I start, I want to hit you guys with quick little intro real quick. So before I start up, let's see if this works. This should work. Just hopefully, come on, YouTube, play with me. It's only 40 seconds, man. This is not going to take that long.
I see B Stu. Hold up. I got you.
Yeah.
I got you.
All right.
Should I wear a front?
Yeah.
Lakers.
I'm a fake Lakers fan.
Are you ready, guys? So here goes the intro.
This is the NBA on NBC.
Let's go.
That's the greatest intro ever.
Bro, that's the greatest. That's when I first started watching basketball. So it was like towards the end of the Jordan 3-peat. And anytime you hear that theme song, you're like, bro, it's about to be because it's only like the big games they would put on NBC. And you were like, bro, it's about to be a fire matchup. It's gonna be like 80-78, the final score, but it's gonna be a fire matchup. All right, so what I'll do first is I'll quickly introduce everybody here, and then I'll just start off with the topic, and we'll just go from there. So I'll start off to I don't even know if that's my left. Is that my left or right? I don't know. But I'll start off with my main man. So Austin, he has been on this live stream before, so he knows the ins and outs. We had a great conversation. I forget what we talked about. I don't even remember what we talked about when we were there. Yeah, you said about a lot of stuff?
Yeah.
So definitely He's a good friend of mine. I've known him for a long, long time. We grew up in the same area. Actually, all of us here grew up in the same area. Definitely cool, down to earth guy. The one thing I can tell you about Austin, since I've known him, and this is a compliment, he has never changed. So he is one person that doesn't change with time, doesn't adapt, doesn't let people persuade him one way or another. He is himself. He's been himself from since I've known him, and that's a compliment to you. So shout out to you, Austin.
Thank you.
And down below me is my man B Stu. Once again, he has been on my live stream too before. Great guy, great friend. He will never admit that on the court that he can't guard me and all that good stuff. I know I bring it up. It's like clockwork. But what is it? Hopefully someday when he's old and he has like 10 grandchildren, he'll be able to be honest to them and tell them what happened when we were playing ball. But other than that, he's a great player. I've known him for so long. Tough player, high level. I only deal with high level players. Always enjoy getting on the court with B Stu. Basketball knowledge is crazy. Knows everything about the game. NBA, college, women's, everything. Anything you want to know, anything you want to talk about, go to my man B Stu. So shout out to him. And last but not least, my guy, the Asian Persuasion. My guy living out in Cali. He left us. Jersey no more. He's representing Jersey and Cali. He is out there. Definitely enjoying that great weather. It's he probably has no snow, no nothing. Doesn't have to deal with anything like that out there. Doing great stuff out there with training, basketball. His daughter, rest in peace, is about to turn into the next Gigi Bryant out here. Like she's like, every time I see a video of her doing moves, I'm like, whoa, yeah, she has potential to be there. Definitely killing it. Same thing, been knowing him all my life. He knew me when I first started with soccer, so I've known him like from the beginning. So shout out to my guy Park.
Yo, I found the Somerville trophies the other day. The soccer ones.
The soccer ones? That's hilarious.
Yeah.
That is hilarious. All right, so we're going to start off with, so everybody sees the logo. What everybody wants to talk about. Austin said he has a lot to talk about when it comes to this topic. So how we're going to do it. So this is how we should do it in the beginning. So I'll give you my perspective of the whole situation, the trade, how I think it's going to work, everything like that. Then I'll give it to you, Austin. You talk about how you feel about it. Then Brandon, you go. Then Park, you go. Then after that, we'll just have open dialogue and then just go from there. All right. Can you guys hear me? Am I?
Yeah, good. Yep.
Oh, all right. Because none of y'all are replying. I was talking to myself. Okay. So for me, the trade was we heard of rumblings about it, but then when it happened, it's like NBA so weird. It just happens like at 12 a.m. when everybody's asleep. You wake up and then somebody's traded. It's like crazy. So then when I found out Harden was traded, I was like, my first thought is, who did the Nets have to give up? Then when I saw who they gave up, I'm like, okay, they still have a decent team. So my thought process is that instantly I'm like, they're going to the NBA Finals. This is just me jumping to instant conclusion because I compare them. I'm thinking like, are they going to be like the Golden State Warriors or like the Miami Heat? Like what type of team are they going to be like when they play together? And I feel like I always come to this point when I see great players like, oh, people always say, oh, there's only one ball. How's everybody shoot? But I always say like, if you have 3 good friends in the league, or you say you have 2, so me and 2 other friends, and we're all good players and we're all on the same team. Yes, I'm going to sacrifice. I'm not going to take 30 shots a game like I did with another team. That doesn't make sense. I'm going to adapt to who we're playing with just because we're friends and because we're looking at the bigger picture. So I always think when they have teams like this, that they're going to create a situation where they'll figure out a way to play together and do everything right, and then in order to get the championship. Because James Harden doesn't want to go down as a Charles Barkley type player who doesn't win a championship. Kevin Durant wants to show that Golden State, he didn't have to go, even though this is a super team too.
Yeah, it's kind of the same.
It's so weird because this is kind of like a super team too, but I don't know. But Kyrie said he wanted to do it on his own too, but he's not doing it on his own.
He's like the
weird, everything they said they wanted to do is not. So I guess it's just James Harden. Let's do it for Harden. Do it for Harden. Get him 1 chip. And at the end of the day, even though I'm not the biggest LeBron fan, they're all doing this because they're nervous of LeBron. They got to get LeBron out of here. Everybody's like, they don't want LeBron to win. They don't want him to win. So they're trying to create teams like this to minimize his chances to win. So my ending thoughts is going to be Nets, Suns, in the NBA Finals. That's my heart speaking. If I'm speaking with my mind, with my reality, I think the Clippers. I think the Clippers might upset this year. I just think it's going to be tough for them to play as bad as they did last year in the playoffs. So my end thoughts is that it's going to work out for the Nets. They're going to go to the NBA Finals, just get some seasoning and playing together, and they're going to be a great team, and then we'll go from there. So Austin, what say you?
I guess starting off with the NBA Finals, I'm not like it sounds good. They should make the NBA Finals, right? They Kyrie, James Harden, and Kevin Durant. How could you not, especially in the East? But I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't make the NBA Finals. If like the Heat got back there, or the Boston Celtics finally got it together and got there. So I'm not sure about the NBA Finals with them. But I think my main thing with this trade was I think I'm more mad at the Houston Rockets, like of them trying to rob everybody, like with this trade, like with little leverage. I don't know how they got away with that. I guess because the Nets are stupid. Like they gave up so much. How many picks?
Yeah. They leveraged. I think they gave up 8 first rounders. Like the next, it's something crazy. I didn't even know you were allowed to do that. They give up that many far ahead, but they give up 4. They're done. Their first round picks are done. So
yeah, they give 4 first rounders. Jared Allen, who I think like would be, they should have figured out a way to keep him. I don't know if you could, because he has so much upside and value, but I think that was bad on their. I think the trade was bad on their part. Honestly, I honestly think the Houston Rockets won that trade. As crazy as that is to say, I think they won that trade. They have the 3 first rounders. They ended up getting Oladipo. I feel like they won that trade. And as far as like the 3 of them playing together, like KD's never a question. Like he's gonna be fine. Like he'll fit anywhere he goes with anybody. I don't really see James Harden as a problem either, but I more feel like his James Harden can come off the ball, right? But I more feel like it's Kyrie that's going to be the problem fitting in with them too. I think that after the season, one of the 3 is going to be gone. One of the 3 of them is going to be gone.
Even if they win or lose the championship?
Kind of, yeah. Like, and to me, it seems like Kyrie will be the one that will be gone, going somewhere.
I think he's going to retire secretly.
Kyrie?
He said retire.
Wow.
I can see that. I can see that.
All jokes aside, I think he's actually going to retire. Like
that's like what's the name? Jim Brown, right? Didn't Jim Brown retire earlier? Stuff like that. That's crazy.
Barry Sanders.
Yeah, Barry Sanders.
Yeah, had a long career.
Mega. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, but they retire because like for other reasons, because their Detroit Lions sucked and
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kyrie's gonna retire because whatever he's got some shit going on that we don't know about. Like I didn't think about that, Brandon, but yeah.
I think if B, if you're right, I think if he gets another chip, he retires.
He might as well. Like he seems to not want to play anyway. Like
I think with him, like once he got the championship, it didn't like really like fulfill like anything he wanted. Like I guess. And now he's just like, I got the money, like I've done everything I want to do, like it's time. So I think in the next maybe 2-3 years he's gonna retire.
Yeah, that wasn't a thought that occurred to me until just now.
Cool.
Until you brought it up. But for Kelvin, that's all I got for now. There'll be more when we get talking, but yeah.
So Park, go ahead, Park. What do you think? Early impressions.
Ooh, I think so. Yeah, like Austin said, if they don't go to the finals, it's a bust. Like anytime you put that many people together, right? That much money, that much power, like you have to go. It's the same thing. It's the same thing the Clippers did. It's the same thing that the Lakers did. The same thing that Miami did. It's always, if you don't go to the championship and you don't win, it's a bust.
Mm-hmm.
So like they need to do that. Now that hinges, I think you guys were talking earlier about injuries, right? So if nobody gets hurt, as long as they stay healthy, as long as Kyrie stays in the right mental space, right? Because I think ultimately high-level players will be able to play together. They've already proven, like fluke, they lost to Colin Sexton, like that was a fluke. But like that team is overpowering. And I know they critiqued like defense or whatever, but at the end of the day, you're like what? We're 19 games in or something like that. Who cares? Nobody cares. As long as they come in the first like top 3 in the East, top 4 in the East, they'll go wherever they want. It's kind of like the Lakers are coasting, Clippers are coasting, right? You know the teams that are going to be there. So I think, they should go to the finals. And but I think they gave up a lot. I do think they gave up a lot. Jared Allen, he has a lot of upside, but you got DeAndre, right? Like, I know DeAndre's not as young, but man, you have 2 doing the same position, right? And that's kind of why the Lakers gave up JaVale. They gave up Dwight Howard. They didn't care. They didn't need another person at that same position, right? I think it's duplicate. I mean, you would have lost Karis LeVert anyway, right? You found out that he has like
probably
on his kidneys or whatever. That's prayers to him, man.
That's the one. I don't think the trade could have happened without Karis LeVert, honestly.
Yeah. So to find out that, I mean,
because Dinwiddie is hurt, so they can't get Dim. Nobody would take. I think Dinwiddie might have been. It would have been between them two.
Yeah,
Dinwiddie's hurt, so you can't trade him.
So either way, I mean, you kept some good pieces. You can pick up whoever you want. Free agency, like you still can sign some shooters or whatever. But man, everybody talks about the whole dribble. It's funny, but the fact of the matter is, like, Harden is a distributor. Kyrie can be a distributor. And then when it gets down to the end, any 3 of them can take the last shot. They can do whatever they want. The shot clock's going down. They can break their man down and do whatever they want. So who's stopping that? Like, you have to remember how the Golden State Warriors were. Like, how do you stop KD? How do you stop Steph? And then the second you try to stop or double, you got a shooter off to the side. And so while Harden isn't a spot up shooter, he's knocking that down. I don't care who you are. He's knocking that down. So, I was having a conversation with Kev the other day about who's better, right? Golden State or Brooklyn, right? So that's going to be, I think we'll talk about that. But still, you have so many components to that team. They're so lethal. It's hard to deny that the where they can go. So I just think they gave up a lot, and if they don't win, that's the worst part of it, right? So and winning the East doesn't mean jack, because I mean, you got Embiid and Ben Simmons on, Philly, like they're leading the East right now. Who cares?
I think early impressions, what I see is James Harden, like, he wants to be a point guard. He wants to play point guard. So he says he's not even shooting shots. He's doing, like, even when I just watched these highlights real quick, this game, he did like a behind the leg pass to Kyrie. Like, he wants to lead the league in assists. So I think it's going to be like James Harden being the one that sacrifices the most, because at the end of the day, Kyrie can't be a player to create for others, because that's just not what he does. Like, so you can't, if him sacrificing is a detriment to everybody else, if that makes sense. He has to get buckets. You have to put Kyrie in a position to get buckets. James Harden actually has the ability to be like, okay, I average 20 points and then I have 11 assists. And, KD, no matter what, KD's going to have 30 every game. Whatever.
He's a bucket.
That's what I'm saying, though. That's what I'm saying. The problem, if there's going to be a problem, it would be Kyrie, because Kyrie sacrificing would be detrimental. But can Kyrie get buckets off ball? Like, he has to have the ball in his hands at all times.
Yeah, but I think if you have Harden breaking players down, you know what I mean? Then it gets Kyrie in a position where if he kicks it, right, Kyrie's now in that attack position. He can go by his man. Like, he's got that ISO. So I think he's still playing kind of off, right? But he's not totally off ball, because once he gets it in his hands, it's over, right? It's kind of like KD. KD doesn't have to have the ball in his hands all the time. If you watch old Golden State clips, he would kind of post up in the corner. He would go down in like the baseline and just like pop up, and then you get the ball, and then it would either be a shot or he would be going, breaking his man down too. Because Steph would do whatever he's doing at the top, and then it would be KD down there. So
Golden State definitely made KD a better basketball player, if that's even possible. But he just got better being at Golden State. There's that one clip where he's it's like a post-game interview, and he's talking about how, like, he's got somebody on him that he could just shoot over every time, but, like, he's got to see what the defense does in reactions, because he's got Clay in the corner and Steph at the top, and, like, so
he's gotten more. If you want to, has he gotten more efficient? That's crazy to say that he's gotten more efficient, but it does look like he's turned into, like, one dribble, two dribble, and does do something. Like, it looks like he's turned like Kobe-esque, where it's not like a lot. Even though he never really was a big dribbler, but it, like, anytime I see highlights of him, it's like he just knows he's trying to get to a certain spot, And if you don't cut him off, he'll just go to the basket. But if you cut him off, he already knows he's just gonna. As soon as you cut him off, he's pulling up. Like he's not even countering it. He's just pulling up.
Well,
Just elevate and shoot.
He definitely gets
stop
the
that.
spot every time, like whatever spot he wants to get to. And if I have to see him walk up the left side of the floor one more time and someone not know that he's shooting a three,
That's so crazy. He does shoot that pull up the same spot. It's always the left wing. You're right. I started thinking like it's always at that spot that he does that.
He dribbles with his left hand. I mean, he dribbles down like it's so easy. And if they don't step,
he's back to pull. Like, I mean, I guess it's easier to watch it and see that he's going to do that than be in the game. But like, I don't know. He won 2 finals back to back doing that shit.
All right, so let's see if this works. Hopefully, this is gonna work, and no nonsense is gonna happen out of this. But all right, so we're just gonna. So anytime you guys want to stop it and you want to talk about it, I'll pause it or whatever, and we can talk. So I just like these. I like them too because they keep it real, and they talk about it like Shannon Sharp loves LeBron.
Yeah,
and Skip hates LeBron, so it's like
I don't think he hates LeBron. I just think that's where
yeah.
And Skip doesn't know what he does.
Nah, that's a fact. And so let's just listen to what they said. So this is just their reaction. I don't know. Have you any of you guys seen this yet? Have you watched?
some of it, yeah.
I probably saw
Okay.
it.
All right. So let's just see what's there. And like I said, we're gonna pause it whenever it happens, and then we'll just go from there. Hopefully, it doesn't stop. Let me know if you guys can hear it. You can hear it?
A little bit.
Yeah, it's a little low, but it's good.
And they're a very small team with now that they got Kyrie back.
That's better?
The majority of the game, Jeff Green was playing the 5 spot. And Skip, that's going to be a problem. And I told you, I said, Skip, what they're doing is that they're going to need to score somewhere between 120 and 140 in order to win these games because they don't play any defense. They play no defense.
Okay, so Park, that was your point that you brought up. So what do you guys think about that? So to me, that's like Phoenix Suns type style, right? Is what he's saying? Is that the type of style they're gonna have to win with? Because low key, I try to defend Kyrie. I love Kyrie. Kyrie plays no defense, and I was just watching him. He literally plays. Everybody else on the court is playing mad D, and then he just lets. I know Sexton. He just lets people go right by. I'm like, he doesn't even play any defense. It's ridiculous.
I don't even think he can play defense. I don't think he knows how to play defense, honestly. Because I've seen him try to play a couple, like when he was in Cavs, I've seen him try to play defense, and it doesn't really work out well.
Okay. I don't know, but to me, I think you can win like that. But damn, Kyrie, at least freaking get one stop. Like stop your guy once and twice. No.
I mean,
He ain't getting paid to play defense.
Shen is right though. Like, I mean, we all know James Harden doesn't play defense either, and I mean, they're gonna have to, like you said, the Suns, but like, look how that's worked out for them in the past 15, 20 years. They'll get to the conference finals maybe, and then that's not enough to win a championship, honestly.
I agree with that. All right, so let's see what else he says.
A lot of standing around, and when they got rid of Allen, when they got rid of Taurean Prince, those were their really good on-ball defenders. Now, you want to talk about deflections and you want to talk about all this, that's fine and good. All I know is this. You got almost 100 points from 3 guys. You got 20 rebounds. You got 20 assists, and you lost the game. Because why? You gave up 20 points in one overtime. In a 5-minute overtime, you gave up 20 points in one of them. Now, I don't know if people know this at home, ladies and gentlemen. The Cleveland Cavaliers are the worst offensive team in all of basketball, and they just got 147. Now, their offensive rating last night was 122, the highest offensive rating in NBA history. The Dallas Mavericks had it last year at 116. But Skip Bayless is going to come out here and tell you they can play defense. No, they can't. You see what Colin Sexton did to Kyrie? Kyrie came back and got 38, but the other guy got 42. Now, Kevin Love and Garland didn't even play.
Amazon's Jeff
Oh
Bezos
shit.
studied-
So what do y'all think about that? So he's pretty much saying the same thing. He's pretty much saying that they don't play no D, but I think he's more so like he doesn't. He's very hard on Kyrie, he's very hard on Kyrie. So he's very hard on him. So I think like whenever he does something wrong, it stands out to him and he'll point it out like a lot. But the thing is, so I don't know if you guys agree. Do you guys agree with the statement? Like it's hard to play defense in the NBA regardless. Like I can't guard good players. If you're a good player, it's gonna be hard to D you up at all. So I hate when people say, "Oh, Russell Westbrook is a great." No, I see Russell Westbrook get cooked all the time too. It's hard to guard. Damian Lillard cooks Russell Westbrook. It's hard to guard great players. So when they say that, oh, I need a point guard that plays D, no, I need a point guard that gets me buckets, just like that person's going to get me buckets. But you do need to be able to play some type of D. That's what I think. Some type, a little bit, like here and there.
Yeah, you definitely. You're right about that statement. So I don't really know how to like disprove that statement. To be honest with you, like everybody.
That's one of my biggest pet peeves when it comes to is when they be like, "Oh, why would I want to Steph Curry plays no D?" I'm like, bro, nobody can play D against a great player. Do you not play basketball? If I'm playing against Beast 2 and he's good, and you're telling me, oh, Kevin's not playing no D because he's good. What do you mean? I beat him to a spot, I put my hand up, and he scored still. What the fuck? What do y'all want me to do, guys?
Steph Curry runs from people, though. There's a difference.
Yeah, I'm never going to be able to forgive him after that. He ran.
He's running from like, oh, my God.
He does do he switches off that. But do you think that's smart? Do you think that's smart on his part, knowing that I can't guard him, being smart?
What's smart about that? Just try at least attempt to guard him if he's gonna. Who did he even run from? Brandon? Who was that?
Van Fleet.
Fred Van Fleet. Fred Van Fleet is not an elite scorer. Like Fred Van Fleet is tough. Like I like him, but he's not like it's not fucking Damian Lillard that you're running from. You're running from Fred Van Fleet. Like,
Fred Van Fleet is one of those guys that I look at. I'd be like, he's not tall, he's not super athletic.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't have the greatest shot. His ball handling is good, but it's not crazy. How the hell does he score so much? He scores buckets. It's the craziest thing.
He is crafty.
Always get him buckets. Always get him buckets.
Yeah,
his hezzy's tough. He got a tough hezzy.
I guess.
His pace. He's got that pace. He's got that change of pace.
Does
which is tough to guard. Yeah. I mean, he's not flashy like a Kyrie, but man, when some of these guys, you just don't realize the subtle nuances that they do when they move, and you're just like, damn, I don't know where they're gonna go. I don't know how they're gonna, it just shift, and you're like 5 feet away from him. You're like, what the hell? I was just here. So,
all right, so let's keep it going.
I watched them closely. I don't see a whole lot of sense. I see a whole lot of one-on-one, and then they try to break you down, and when you come to help, I kick the ball. This style of play works really, really well if guys are knocking down shots. We've seen this. We've seen it in Phoenix. We've seen it in Houston. But when they pull it up on you come playoff time, it's going to be very, very interesting. They're going to need to get some bench. Their bench was awful last night. Joe Harris couldn't make any shots. But Skip, I mean, you got guys playing, KD playing 50 minutes, James Harden playing 50, Kyrie playing almost 49. And then you got Joe Harris off the bench playing 41. And then your other three guys play 11, 10, 7. Defense is going to be an issue for them. They're going to need to get this resolved, Skip. Because think about this. Before I turn it over to you, Andre Drummond didn't really post because he's really not the great post player. Jared Allen, he's really not a post. I'm talking about offensive player. They don't post their bigs, but not offense playing the back. Ooh, I get you. But I don't know if you noticed last night. Did you see that big guy in Philly? He's gonna punish somebody.
I mean, the guy I keep telling you is the best big man in basketball by far, not even close, and you keep saying no.
Do you agree with that?
Embiid being the best big man in basketball?
Yes.
No.
No. Not really.
Who's better than him?
AD.
I'm taking AD.
Yeah, AD.
I am too. I just think about it because I don't. It's not to say I don't like Embiid's game, but it's just something that's weird about it. The way he does.
The thing is he going to give DeAndre Jordan buckets? Like I'm talking like 40. Is he going to drop 40 on him?
Nah.
So that's what I mean. Like that's irrelevant. I think that's irrelevant.
What is Embiid's like? What's his not go-to move, but what's his style? Like is he post back to the basket type like that, or does he?
Yeah,
definitely back.
He can do everything like hook shots. I mean, I know you don't do hook shots, but I mean, he does like
Yeah.
drop step fadeaways. He does.
He's a typical post player.
He's a traditional.
Yeah.
I should say. Yeah.
I know he's in the MVP race, so he has to be doing something right. Is he gonna punish? Yeah, he'll punish DeAndre Jordan. He'll
But
punish
for 40, you know, and like be able to completely eliminate, you know, 3 superstars. I just don't think that's not that.
All I said, you're putting words in my mouth, Park. I said he's gonna punish DeAndre Jordan. I said nothing about him beating the rest of them.
I mean, DeAndre Jordan is former Defensive Player of the Year. Like, I still think I still think he can bang with him down there.
Who do you think would give the Nets the biggest run then in the East? The Celtics. I like the Celtics, man. I like them.
Yeah, the Celtics made like
Miami, a healthy Miami.
A healthy Miami can beat them.
I don't know. You got Bam.
Bam's gonna give Embiid trouble. Like,
you got my. Oh, what am I talking about? You got Precious. Yeah, Precious. Precious is gonna drop like 30. St. Benedict's prep. Yeah, he'll drop like 30 on him.
What?
He's balling though. He's doing good. That guy he's a monster.
Give it a minute.
Honestly, go ahead.
I was gonna before we said AD, because like sometimes it's hard to remember that AD is a big man. I was gonna say Cat, probably better than Embiid, but
they're on a terrible team. They're terrible. They're terrible.
I really don't even like Cat. I think he's corny, but
I know what Brandon's saying. I Cat's from Jersey, so I don't even want to say nothing bad about him. But
he's corny.
I see his dad too sometimes out here. I don't even know.
If Cat wasn't on a bad team, we probably
he needs to get out of Minnesota. That's a fact. Just get away.
We've been talking about Cat being the best big in the league, but like, and before Cousins got hurt, I would have said Cousins. Like, Embiid is the best in the league by best actual center in the league by default.
Brandon, what do you think? Because Brandon's about to say something crazy. He just
I don't know. I think I might even take Jokic over him.
Over Embiid?
How are we forgetting about him? Yeah, wait, nah, it is over. Yeah, Joker guy.
I forgot about Jokic. Damn, Embiid might be really down there now. Wow.
I would say down there, but
like
3. So I would say he's third.
Yeah, probably 3.
Third behind Embiid. I mean, behind AD and Jokic. Then I put him.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I'll do that one. Good job, Rast.
But they're still not winning because Ben Simmons can't shoot past what's the name? So it's a trash.
Still, oh man, that's a whole nother topic.
Yeah,
I don't understand how you're in the NBA and you can't.
Ben Simmons is awesome. Yes.
The only thing you should ever do if you can't shoot if you're in the NBA is shoot every.
So, first of all, before I go to this, guys, do you guys see Giannis? This guy, Giannis, I understand why they don't make it far in the playoffs. He can't shoot a lick. And even when he shoots, I'm like, that's not it.
He has no game at all. Giannis has no game. He's just long and mad athletic, and he runs by people like with his long legs. It's not even like fast. He just like steps around you.
He doesn't have handles. He doesn't like.
You saw it last night.
Yeah, he was 1-2 dribbles and he's getting to the rim.
He can get to the rim in 2 steps from half court. Like that's why he scores 30 points a game. Like he has no game at all. Like
that I think I heard today that Shannon was like 80% of Giannis's fouls come on offensive fouls.
Every time.
He gets a bad offensive foul. That means he has no – because he's always going to do the Euro. He's either going to do the Euro or
He's going to fly down the way.
He bump Euros and then he's dunking on you.
Yep.
That's it.
And then Middleton.
Stand in the paint and wait for him.
What do you say? What do you say, Brandon?
But yesterday, all the Lakers did was just crowd the paint and literally wait for him to come. And it was
just bait him. Bait him into shooting.
Easy.
And then Middleton loves averaging 30 like before December, and then after like April, he turns into like a 10-point scorer. It's ridiculous. It's like he can't play basketball again. Like
he has the most useless points. They don't matter. Yeah. It's like that's it. They just don't matter. They're like
that team,
pointless.
I have no trust in that team, but
I never really liked Middleton. I didn't really understand all the hype.
You got overpaid.
Yeah.
He's overpaid.
That's
Big
what
time.
happens when you get overpaid. You know, it's like a curse. I don't know.
Trevor Ariza.
Or Chandler Parsons.
Yeah.
He got a max, and then I never heard of Chandler Parsons again.
He really got. Oh my god,
Yeah,
that is one of the worst. Because he had, but the funny thing is, he only had one like crazy year. I remember with Dallas, and then he got hurt. I think the next year or something, and then it just never
Went to Houston.
Max in Portland, and then that was like the end of Chandler Parsons. We didn't hear about him again.
Didn't Hayward average like 40 or something like that, right?
What, in Utah?
No. I mean in where's he at? Charlotte.
Oh, sorry.
Where's he at? Charlotte, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, he's playing again.
Yeah, he got a crazy contract too, and they was like, I don't want to be racist, but maybe it's the white guys that they feel like when they give him money like
You gotta remember, he was balling.
because it's ridiculous.
Before Hayward, like Park. Go ahead, Park.
Yeah, I'll say that horrendous injury, man. That's like that was gruesome. Like
It's the same one that Paul George
took
had.
so long, and then that team was team was never designed to have him as be the star. You know, they ended up bringing in all these other pieces, so they didn't need him, and all these other players stepped up. Like you had no idea that they were going to be those players.
Yeah, like Jalen Brown and Marcus Smart. Like, there was just no use for Gordon Hayward. There's really never any use for him there. Like with Kyrie, Jason Tatum.
Exactly. That's what I mean. They brought him in, and they never ended up using. And he was never ready to come back after that injury that first year, anyway. So when he was ready to come back, he didn't have a spot. So it just really didn't matter. So now he's in Charlotte, and he's getting to play now.
Yeah,
great.
So shout out to my guy Adam. So Adam said that I'm a big fan of KD. My bro always gives me a hard time because KD's always around so much talent. He does always play with great players.
He does.
Does that diminish him because he's always around? He's always been around great players like that.
I think with him, if he would have went anywhere but Golden State, and he would have been his career would have been diminished just because he went there.
Really?
Yes. If he could have went to any other team in the fucking NBA except the fucking team
that he lost to.
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to. Go to the team you lose to. It doesn't make any sense. Like, beat that team. Go join. I really thought he was going to go to Boston that year, and I would have been fine with that. Like,
I thought he was going to go
first for our cared.
Wizards, right? Wizards,
yeah, anywhere. He went anywhere, but he went to Golden State, and that's what, like Brandon said, that's why, like, it doesn't diminish his talent, but it's an asterisk on his career for sure.
But do we all agree that it was smart for him to leave Westbrook? Because I think I would. The reason I say that is because in the beginning, when he first did it, I'm like, why would he just leave Westbrook like that? But now the more I watch Westbrook play, I'm like, he might just be in it for stats. He might not really care about winning because this guy doesn't win. They don't win when he's whatever team he's on.
Yeah, there's no issue with him leaving Westbrook. Like we all saw that later in the movie.
Yeah, I'm leaving this guy too. Yeah, you're right. He shouldn't have went to Golden State. That was awful. And that's because all of us had the same thought. We knew they're going to the championship. It's corny. It was kind of corny because you're like, the team is cheap already. And then you add him, it's just like, how cheap can you be? Like you're just making it not fun. That wasn't fun at all.
I have a question for everyone.
Go ahead.
Is what he did equivalent to what LeBron did?
No, it's not the same at all.
No,
LeBron went to the Celtics. Yeah, LeBron went to the Heat.
I've had this conversation with a million people, and everyone.
I don't understand why people don't understand that. Like,
but how can what makes it clearly not the same? Yeah, is because
Miami didn't win before that,
and because they didn't lose to them. You know what I'm saying? They didn't, like, that's so personal. It's like me walking around and then getting like beat up by this guy and then coming back and like begging him to be my friend the next day or something like that. So like, that don't make sense. It's just like the logic doesn't make sense for him to like go on Golden State. Like I'm not mad at what LeBron did. I understood, like, D Wade is literally his best friend, and you have a chance to play with him. Why would you not want to go play with it? That makes sense.
He did his time in Cleveland. He couldn't get the help. No one wanted to come to Cleveland. Like, that's
Dan Snyder was not helping him out at all. Like, he had to leave.
Yeah, I'm not mad at any of that. I actually liked, even though they lost the first year, I liked when he was mad like that in The Bad Guy. I liked that style they play. I wish they won it like that. I wanted them to play like that the whole time. Where I think he averaged like 28 and D Wade averaged like 25, some craziness. That's when D Wade was throwing that baseball pass down. I was like, yo, this is mad fun to watch.
It was fun to watch too. Yeah.
Bro, he was trash in that finals though.
He was trash.
I have a theory behind that.
If we have it there, he was.
I
watched it.
That he got paid to throw that series.
He got paid to throw it
for that series.
Like he got paid, or like he was in a bad way with some people or something. Like because there's just no way he played like that.
He played trash. Yeah, he played.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you what happened. He finally got to the finals. He finally beat the Celtics. And he was you remember him being so hyped in what was that game 6, him running to the other end of the court and like getting down on one knee.
Yeah.
Like, into that, and like he actually won something, but he hadn't won anything. Right. I shouldn't say he finally got to the finals. He got there in 07.
Yeah, he got there.
But Dallas, not Dallas. Wasn't the Heat up 2-1? And they were up 2-1.
Yeah,
and I remember watching the game after D Wade hit the 3 and they made him up by like 16, 18. I'm like, bro, they're about to smack this team out. And then they came back. I'm like, wait, what? It made no sense to me. And then after that, LeBron went into I was like, LeBron was doing something like, I was like, bro, he looks scared. It looked crazy. Yeah, you're right. That makes sense.
To throw the series. I'm trying.
Dirk was busting everybody's ass in that finals.
Which is also, we don't give him his props because he went through.
Nobody gives Dirk no props.
Then he went through Kobe and Powell, and then he went through who they play in the
Thunder.
Did they play OKC?
They played the Thunder, yeah.
Yeah, and then
Swept Kobe.
They had a tough road, and
that was a good team. That was a good team. That was
old ass J Kidd
right? Yeah. And what's the name?
Good pieces.
Low key, Jason Terry was tough.
Yeah.
Jason Terry got buckets. I don't care what you say about the high socks. He's the only reason I even was like wanted to wear high socks because he had the high socks. But he was getting buckets. Like he would just score and score and score. But LeBron got him back in Boston. That dunk, that's one of my top 5 like dirtiest dunks. When he dunked on him like that, I was like, God damn. I would, as a ref, I wouldn't have gave him a tech. I'm so different. If I saw that and seen him stand over him, I would just be like, "Yo, you deserve that."
I wish refs didn't do that today. Like it's whack. Like you gotta
let it go. Just let go.
Some emotion. Like
that's ridiculous.
I ended somebody's life. Let me stand there. That dunk is, I guess, I don't know. My favorite dunk of LeBron is when he dunked on KD when he was still in Cleveland. Like he went down the right side and like he had his arm. I can't believe you don't remember this.
Yeah, I don't.
He dunked on KD.
Yeah, he dunked on KD and like when he was still in Cleveland. I think the last year he was in Cleveland when they finally beat the Celtics. And then who they lose to? That's weird.
Who lose to?
The Cavs to not get to the finals that year.
Orlando.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, that's when Orlando.
Because that should have been Kobe LeBron.
That would be Kobe LeBron.
I'll never forgive Dwight Howard for that.
Yeah, Dwight Howard. As soon as they made the finals, I'm like, Orlando's gonna lose. They're like, how are they not winning this? There's no way they're beating the Lakers.
No shot.
But that squad, low key, that Orlando squad with Turkey Lou, that squad was tough too. Actually,
they were built perfect. Like they were built perfectly around Dwight.
Perfectly.
Michael
Shooters. Shard Lewis.
They had a good squad.
Michael Petrus.
Yeah. Is that the final? That's when they did this, right? The meme with the throw it at Kobe's face and Kobe just stood there.
Matt Barnes.
Yeah, that's the finals, right? Where you did that?
Oh.
I don't think so. I don't even think Matt Barnes was on that team.
Oh, he wasn't on that team? No. I don't know. I don't know if it added to Kobe's legend or whatever. But all right, so let's see. We're going into we went like totally different. Go back to the Nets and see what they.
Brady's fault for asking questions.
Well, hey, so I heard somebody gave me this kind of like similarity to. For us, like, let's say you worked at a company, right? And that company was like pretty good. They were like a technology company. And then you had a meeting with Apple. And then Apple was like, hey, we want you. Like, you didn't win this business, but we want you. And so it's like, oh, yeah, you're going to give me more money and you're going to give me a chance to be like at the top? Cool. So you kind of equate it to like your own business. KD did that. He was like, why? I'll go to the best. Why not go to the best? I get it why he's the bad guy and why it was like just you don't do that. There's some sort of integrity in sports that you don't do that. But somebody equated it to that type of decision. And I kind of agree. Like, why not? You know, the perception, it sucks because everybody's gonna be like, you're just a bandwagoner. You just got on the easiest. That's like the easiest thing. But at the end of the day, he got paid and he won a chip. So it's like, can you really be mad at him? I don't know.
Yeah. When you put it like that, how can you disagree with it? But like, I feel like that's still apples and oranges somehow. Like, there's no competitiveness.
I agree with that.
Like going from Google to, I don't know if you said Google or to Apple. Like, yeah, any civilian, I guess, like, are basketball players civilian? I don't know, whatever. Like, anybody would take that and go make more money in the regular world. But there's a competitive nature to this. He probably could have made money somewhere else, and he also still could have won a championship somewhere else. So, like, I still can blame him for that.
So Montrezl Harrell did the same thing. So Montrezl could have got way more money and gone to, I think, Atlanta or something like that. And he opted to go to the Lakers. So he was on, the Clippers, because being sixth man of the year, he was going to get a payday. Mm-hmm. And he could have got I think it was something like 42 million more, 32 million more going to like Atlanta. And he was like, nope, I'm going to go to the Lakers.
I mean,
Montrezl Harrell is not Kevin Durant.
I agree.
And also, the Lakers didn't beat him. So, like, if I'm Montrezl Harrell, I'm going to the Lakers too.
He's going to take care of him on the side anyway. So.
Yeah, it's
look at the when you're talking about 80 million versus like 112, like, come on now, man. Who cares? That's so much money. It's not even funny.
Yeah,
but
yeah, I hear you.
I mean, I hear what you're trying to say, Park, but no.
I didn't say I agree with it. I'm just saying that's what.
At the end of the day, you're trying to. It's like you found something in the garbage and you're trying to sprinkle it up and just dust it off. It's still garbage. It's trash. It's still trash. It's just everybody. Nobody's mad. Like, literally. So would anybody be mad if they didn't lose to Golden State and he still went there? Would you be mad if he went there?
Yeah.
I'd probably still be mad.
No, he'd still be mad, right? Yeah, that team was cheap.
Because he was arguably the best player in the league, and then he goes to the best player, like with the other best player in the league on the best team.
The best team in the league.
Okay, what if he went with another? What if he went with LeBron, or played with LeBron, or played with another great? How would you feel about that? If he would have gone to a good team, right? He would have had to go to a good team.
I thought John Wall, Beal, and KD would have been perfect.
Yep.
And I thought he would have been. I thought he would have been good on Celtics that year too. But I'd probably be mad if he went with LeBron too, because that's kind of whack as well.
Would have been
weird. They just won a championship, and then you go and join them, so it's like the same.
It's the same thing.
Almost, yeah. That would have been whack. It just you could have went to just any other team, literally. You literally could have went to the Spurs. And I would have been fine. Like, the Spurs probably would have won with KD. Like, you just had to go to the Warriors.
He won Finals MVP, right? Both times.
Yeah, obviously. Wouldn't be Steph Curry. Steph Curry's terrible in the finals. He's terrible. I don't understand how he keeps getting away with being so bad in the finals.
The 1 year Iguodala won, didn't he?
Yeah, the first year
he won the Finals MVP.
He's trash in the finals. He just can't play in the finals.
He won in the final. He won Finals MVP for containing LeBron to 30, 10, and 11.
Containing LeBron. That was some BS.
That pissed me off. So I got in an argument one day with one of my boys at work. He was saying Iguodala blocked LeBron up. I was like, what? He scored. He almost won Finals MVP. Wow.
So
Finals MVP.
Martin said KD got to see LeBron do the decision that shit. Yo, Martin, you're so right. So that decision, LeBron there's people like Steph changed the game. There's people that change things. Like LeBron changed the direction of the NBA from here to like here. Now, from that point on, even though there were technically super teams before, now everybody was going out their way to create a super team. They're like, no, damn, now I'm not playing by myself on no team. I got to get superstars. I got to play with other superstars to win. Like that's the only way you're gonna win. I don't know about y'all. I like it, man. I like watching the Nets. I like having great. I want to see them mesh. I like seeing them mesh. And like everybody always says, "Oh, the NBA, you already know who's gonna make the finals." I don't care. That's fine with me. But I still like seeing them play.
We do 4 years in a row that we were watching Cleveland and Golden State. I was fine.
We all agreed that the decision was very corny. So.
Yeah, well, he probably got.
What do you mean? Wait, hold on. What do you mean by that? Like him making the decision or the whole?
That was funny.
You know what's funny? Because he did he looked ridiculous. He had his beard all shit. Yo, I was like, this guy is really like putting on this show here. He's like, I've made my decision. I'm like, yo, bro, are you serious right now? You dead ass? You're a dead ass.
We all know LeBron off the basketball court is a corny.
He's my favorite player, but he's very cringy off the basketball.
Yeah, everything he does off the basketball court makes you cringe. Like except like what he like. Obviously, the good he's doing for like community and shit like that. But like,
that decision, the Boys and Girls Club got $1 million for that.
Really?
Yeah. But you know what's funny? Nobody cares, and I don't even mean it in a bad way to say yes. It's good that they got money, but that saying that still makes it look stupid. He still looks ridiculous doing it. He's like, it's like a drama. It's like watching one of those stupid soap operas and they can't act. It's like he's like really acting like he's about to cry, but like I'm taking. And the funny thing is, the Knicks always think they're getting somebody, and they're not.
Started on that. The Knicks it doesn't matter who it is, what player, what year. The Knicks, I swear they're getting that player. Like Giannis is going to be next. They're going to swear up and down that Giannis wants to go play in New York. Nobody wants to play in New York. KD said it last year. No one wants to play for the Knicks. That's why he went to Brooklyn.
You know what? This is my theory. Tell me if you guys agree with this. My theory with now why nobody really wants to play with them is because what they did to Carmelo. And Carmelo's respected by so many people in the league, those high players. They're like, bro, you treated him like this when he wanted to be here. I'm like, nah, bro. I can't. I'm not gonna come to a situation like that. Because even though, say what you want about Melo, that's the last time any of us really watched the Knicks and were like, yo, this is I can stand watching them play.
Nobody wants to play for Jim Dolan. Like nobody likes.
I'm just gonna say James Dolan. It's not really. He's terrible.
Yeah, he's not a good person. From so
shoulders to go there and try and turn things around. Like I don't think there's too many players that can go there and change things around besides like LeBron.
There's two players that can do it, and they're not going to New York. He wasn't. The only way that LeBron's going to New York is if Bronny gets drafted there.
Right.
That's the only way.
At
that time, I don't know if he can.
He might because he's different, but I don't. It's still
4 years. Is he still going to be the
first? No. So if they got KD and Kyrie, the Knicks were going to be good. They'd have been good as hell. I think. You don't think so? You don't think they'd have been good if they got them this year?
Yeah, of course. KD and Kyrie, but like
we're saying, like one player.
No, that's impossible because one player is not going to go there. They have to go with. I would never go there by myself as a superstar. I need somebody there because now, first of all, you're going to get all the blame. You know how the media, the Knicks are retarded. Their whole system, the news, that nobody wants to deal with the nonsense. That's why people don't want to go there. There's too much. They do too much over there. They treat them like they're still the Ewing Knicks. Like, guy, you haven't been like that for mad long. They're treating what's the name like he's the savior. Who's the rookie playing? Not the rookie, but the what's the name playing good now from
RJ Barrett.
Yeah, RJ Barrett. He's playing pretty good. Are they doing good? I looked somewhere the Knicks are like back or something. Are they doing good?
They're not the worst team in the league at the moment.
They got a winning record.
Do they?
Yeah.
Wow.
Wait. They're 500. They're 8-8. I got a Knicks fan sitting across from me right now.
Oh, they were above 500.
Let me give you guys a theory. Hypothetically speaking, if the Knicks got Melo and Lonzo, what kind of team would they be?
I don't think that changes them at all. Not really.
Atlanta?
It doesn't make them that much better. Like,
Are they a playoff team?
they get in playoffs with Lonzo and Melo, they get in the playoffs at least. I don't think it doesn't.
I think that would make people want to come play with them. I think other people would want to play with them.
The young guys, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's exciting. So if they got Zion, I think that would have mattered.
Yeah.
I think people would have went nuts because it's New York. It's New York. Zion, New York.
Zion, New York. You know the thing is with the Knicks, I swear they're cursed. Like every year, no matter what pick they get in the lottery, it's the wrong pick at that time. Like they can't seem to land the right pick to get the right guy.
You know, I thought Westbrook would have been perfect for New York. Like that would have been a perfect spot for him. People care about winning. Like he just plays. He just won't play.
They would have made the playoffs, you think, with him?
I think he could have. Maybe AC. Yeah.
Probably because he brought the OKC that one year, right, where he averaged a triple double. He brought them to the playoffs, so I think it would have been like that. He would have been like a 7th or whatever seed, and would have.
They ain't doing nothing now. Washington's terrible.
Yeah.
Oh, I heard that. I don't even watch them, but I heard that they were awful. Yeah. He because you know what's funny? He's like Iverson. Once he loses his athleticism, he doesn't work on anything. Like he has no other really skill. He just is like super athletic. He could do athletic stuff. But once you lose that, it's like, what are you doing next? That's why you have to respect people like, even though like people like Kobe and them weren't super athletic, but they understand staying ahead of the curve. That when they lose it, they're gonna have other things to fall back on.
Develop.
That old man game.
Old man mid-range game.
Yeah. Fadeaways.
Well, Jay Kidd never was a good 3-point shooter when he was like in his younger career, and then all of a sudden he became like whatever. He was he top 5 most threes ever made?
I honestly think he's 2.
Yeah, he's up there. He's behind Ray. I think Steph's right there, but yeah. So I mean that just he developed that over time in his 18-year career or whatever it was. Oh.
Yeah, just for mad long.
Stupid. Yeah, I saw the comment.
That'd be doesn't he want to do that? He wants to own teams and stuff.
Atlanta Dream.
Yeah, they're gonna own the Atlanta Dream.
Your dad said
my team.
Don't talk about it. Your dad's team. No one player can ever change them until James Dillon. They're hilarious.
I agree.
That's it.
No one's gonna want to go there.
Yep. Dolan leaves.
Could they go back to that Ewing era? Could they get back to that? Like if they have a player, because it was only really Ewing and then everybody else was around, like surrounded him. Like could they have Giannis? Could they have a Giannis and then surround him like that or something like that?
Giannis is trash, so no. Giannis is not Patrick Ewing.
Definitely not.
What if you had Giannis and then the Ball brothers?
Oh, that's not a bad team.
All 3 of them.
You just do pick and roll. You just do pick and roll with Giannis and them. So and just roll hard to the basket.
They're definitely a good team. They're definitely like.
They just need low key. Go ahead, Brandon.
I said I would actually pay to see all 3 of them on the same team. Like
that'd be fun. That's what I'm saying. They honestly, all the Knicks need to do right now is get a team that's fun to watch. Yep. And then once you get a team that's fun to watch, you got to think now eyes are on you, and now other people are going to be like, I want to be a part of that. But they're so keen on trying to get from 0 to 100. Like you're not getting anywhere. You just got to be a fun to watch team. Like play fun style basketball, and then people will be like, Even though the Knicks might have missed a player, they will enjoy. Like they'll just write one more piece in their head. But do
you know how many people are watching the Charlotte Hornets because of Lonzo or because of Melo? I mean, nobody cares otherwise. They just want to see him play.
I don't know if you guys follow. I know the guy. I know you, Brandon. You and Austin. His name is, I think it's RCD or RDC World. He does like jokes, like memes. Like he jokes about like the players. Like he'll make fun. Like he got retweeted by LeBron because he was doing.
Oh
like,
yeah.
Give me the ball. Pass you the ball. Like, did you see the one with he made fun with the Melo? Like after every pass, the commentators are like, "Oh, that's a great pass." They did one pass. They did one pass where he wasn't even on the court. He's on the bench. The teammate threw it out of bounds. Melo caught it, picked it up, and threw it to the ref. He's like, "Did you see Melo throw that pass back to the ref?"
That video is mad funny. That dude.
Yeah, that's the same way they be gassing. They do be gassing up every little play. It's hilarious. Like when you're like that next big person, like even Zion, like a normal dunk, it'll be like the craziest thing ever. It's
That's
like,
the best thing ever. That's been like that since Zion was in high school.
Yeah.
Everything he does is the greatest thing ever.
But I don't think he's ever done a normal dunk.
Yeah. Best dunk I've ever seen.
Do you notice that he doesn't? I think somebody has talked to him to calm it down because he's not dunking like Duke. Like he doesn't even try crazy dunk. He does like here and there. He might once in a while do a power dunk here and there, but most of the time it looks like he's like, I don't know if it's the shoes because the shoes look like weights on him. Like they're like they look like he's wearing some Timbs. Like he's playing in some basketball Timbs, but it looks like somebody told him like, Zion, you can't be jumping and dunking like Vince Carter, like every damn play.
I think somebody got in his ear after he got hurt because you don't want injury. Yeah, he's got to save his knees. He's got to save his back. He's got to save all that stuff because it's 82 games. It's not college where you play 30 games, right? Yeah. You're playing almost 3 times the amount if you go in the playoffs. So he's got to be smarter about that. And aren't they doing like minute restriction on him too? I mean, like, so
yeah. When he got hurt, they were also like reteaching him to walk. Like they were
run. Yeah, they didn't say run.
He walks and runs funny. It's like Max is nice. Max is nice. He's like,
oh yeah. That dude's funny too.
Yeah, he's walking all crazy.
Yeah. So who's more skilled, Zion or Giannis? That's a great question. That's a great question. Who's more skilled?
I'm gonna go with Zion because
Zion. Yeah.
I think that Zion has a better IQ than Giannis does.
Wow, that is crazy. He does more because Zion will give you a spin here and there. Will give you a little. You're right. Oh man,
Zion. He is Zion like his passes are nice. He makes good passes and plays like
handles the ball a little bit. He can,
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Zion on that as much as I can.
So you would rather have Zion on your team right now than Giannis?
You didn't say that. You said who has.
Yeah,
I know. I didn't say that. I just changed it to this question. I just want to know. The way you're talking right now is saying that you would rather have Zion. Like Zion's a better player.
No, you asked him Zion. Apparently, skills and being a better player are 2 different words. So you asked if Zion was more skilled than Giannis, and then we answered Zion, obviously. But obviously, we would take Giannis over
Giannis. He can.
Even though
he's more.
Okay, so let me get this straight. I just want to understand this. Zion is the more skilled player, but you'd rather have Giannis, and you don't really know why you'd want to have Giannis, but you just rather have.
I'll answer this with another question: who's more skilled, LeBron or Kyrie?
Kyrie.
All right. And who would you rather have?
You're right. That's a great point. That's a great point.
Yeah.
Great point.
I don't know. You either get that or you don't. I don't know how to explain it.
No, that's a great point. Because nobody's choosing Kyrie over that. That's
no.
Yeah.
You'd have to bring it to like KD, who's more skilled, KD or LeBron, and it's KD.
But then people are gonna still take KD. A lot of people will still take KD over LeBron.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Those are the only 2 examples that would have to be. Yeah, I know. I hear you, Park. Those are the only examples that like you'd have to.
Wait, what did Park say? What did you say?
Maybe there's a lot of people that pick LeBron over KD still, but I'm just saying people would. I'm not saying that's tough. That's tough, especially now. LeBron's older.
Yeah,
talk about LeBron 4 years ago. That's different. Yeah, LeBron. Still, man, I think he's going backwards. He's getting more skilled. LeBron is more skilled than he's ever been.
It's weird.
But so let me hit you with this. So let me hit you with this. The Cavs, and when the Cavs were playing Golden State in the finals, switch LeBron and KD. What is it? What's the difference? Is there a difference between these two?
No different.
That's what I'm saying, right? So it's hard. It's like apples and oranges because literally the Cavs are still going to the finals and Golden State is still going to the finals. Bad.
Yeah.
Low key, Golden State might be. No, I was gonna say better now, but Steph would go crazy because LeBron wouldn't shoot a lot because LeBron would play super point guard.
He would have all that space to work.
Yeah, Jesus. LeBron would be throwing those cross court
He'd average probably 16 assists a game.
His vision would be crazy because who he sees. I mean, because people always say like, whatever. LeBron can pass the ball, man. His vision is crazy. So he sees all this, but man, that's you got those shooters around you.
You got two of the best shooters, and then a couple other ones.
That's crazy. Yeah, I think Golden State would have been better because KD's another shooter. He wasn't a dominant offensive like attack threat. He's a shooter and he can get buckets. But when LeBron collapses defenses, you have to, so then that's just spreads the floor so much.
Okay, so this is another one of my pet peeves. Can you let me know this? Is LeBron James ball dominant? Because this ball dominant word is so ridiculous. Like if I'm a superstar, yes, I'm ball dominant. I need the ball in my hands. I don't care. Yeah. Like I watch games and LeBron has the ball in his hands a lot, and he's holding it a lot. I'm not saying he's not doing nothing, but he holds it in whatever he tries to do. Like because they always say Kyrie ball dominant, Harden ball dominant, but I'm like every superstar is ball.
I mean, you want your best player to have the ball a lot.
Yeah.
So I don't.
For him.
Go ahead. What did you say, Austin?
The offense should run through him. So,
but I also go ahead. Sorry.
If that's the definition of ball dominant, then yeah, he's ball dominant. But like my definition of ball dominant is how I said earlier about Kyrie, like can he score off the ball? Like I don't know, but Park just diffused that statement anyway.
When you think about it, low key, other than Golden State, what other NBA team really runs a lot of sets and moves without the ball like that? Like a lot of teams really do one pass, down screen, pick and roll, or one that is Golden State is really, and it's only because one of Steph's best attribute is like moving without the ball. So you play to his strength.
Yeah, him and Clay. Yeah, and you got two guys coming off screens.
But LeBron and them, they're not going off screens. No, they stand in the court, they get down screen or whatever, they get the ball, and then it's either a screen away. NBA offenses are very simple. What they do, they don't do a lot of stuff. It's really down screen into like a post or a pick and roll action.
They force you to stop the pick and roll. Like that's the hardest part, right? How do you like back then, like when it was like Chris Paul, right, and Blake? How do you stop that? Or him and DeAndre Jordan? How do you stop it?
I think low key. So guys, tell me if this is wrong. I like now that I'm a coach, I try to look like into coaching mode. So tell me if this is wrong. So low key, when they do like down screen actions, back screen actions, they really don't care about getting you open off that. They want the person to trail so they can set a ball screen quickly as soon as they catch the ball. So if I set a down screen for Brandon, they want your man to trail so that when you catch it, now the big is setting a screen for you, and now you have a head of steam to the basket off a ball screen. Does that make sense? That's what I see that they play. That's what I see what their offense is like. That's what all offense does. It's ridiculously like simple, but I mean, when you have great players, you don't really have to do like it's funny because I sometimes do a down screen into a flare just to get an open damn shot. But I wish I could just do like down screen ISO and score like off like that and play like that.
Yeah, well, you're not in the NBA. In
NBA. Why do you think they don't play? Why do you think they don't press like that? They don't press.
I always thought about that. Like
why don't they? Because low key, even if you're not like, even in college, if you do a 2-2-1, it doesn't have to go for a steal. You could just press just to see. I know they're probably not going to turn the ball over. You don't know what's going to happen. They might be just throw it.
They would break the press so easily.
Yeah, they would wide open three most likely.
Yeah, they would break that so easily, and it'd just be pointless to do that in the NBA because, like you said, like you can't guard anybody in the NBA. Everybody's so good.
But you know why I say that? Because at the end of the games, you do notice a lot of times when the teams are forced to press, the other team turns the ball over a lot. They turn the ball over a lot, and they don't run sets. They don't run any kind of press breaker. It's just throw it to one, and if they're trapped, they're just strong in the trap and throw it or whatever the case may be. Yeah. So I'm like, if they would have done that not the whole game, but Spurs, would that have worked?
No, well, again, to my point, no, because they would have adjusted immediately. Like that works to your point, that works at the end of the game because it's the end of the game, and they're doing it like for a minute and 30 seconds max. And like, who adjusts that quick? Like when you don't see something all game, I don't know if that makes sense.
No,
I don't know. Like I just don't. I think that it'd be pointless to press in the NBA. On top of that, like getting tired. Like I think a lot of the reasons NBA players don't play that much defense is because of fatigue. And like, what's the point of like exhausting your energy on this player who's just going to score anyway?
So who is your out of everybody in the NBA? Who's your top five? Like not top five, my bad. Who would be your starting five out of everybody? Like you get to choose from everybody in the NBA, one player from everybody, anybody. Who would you pick to be in your five? Your starting five?
Does
like
position matter?
Who'd you say?
Does position matter?
Is there positions anymore? Do you guys look at positions? Is there positions really?
I don't think there's positions anymore.
Yeah, I don't think there's like. I think it's if you want to say position, I think it's turned into guard, forward.
Yeah.
Like but at the end of the day, I think it's just they just play. But,
or it's point guard, center, and then just forward.
Yeah.
So for me, you know who I am. My point guard has to be the greatest point guard of all time. The great. So Chris Paul would be my point guard. I definitely will put KD on that team. So it'd be Chris Paul, KD. I might have to put Jokic. I just like the way Jokic plays, and I like
any player from any generation.
Right now, who's playing in the NBA now? If you did all time is crazy. That team is
we'd be here for too long.
Yeah, all time is too hard because I have to really, really think because then I have to throw. I'm throwing the same players. I'm throwing Kobe, Jordan. I'm playing the same position player on my team.
Yeah.
I might not even have a point guard on that team. I might just put best players. Oh yeah, LeBron. That's facts.
It would just be like LeBron, Jordan, Kobe, KD, all the same position.
Yeah, like Wilt or something. Like
Shaq.
Shaq.
You know what's funny? They were talking about before we go back to. They were talking about for the All-Star game starting to do something like a one-on-one contest, like do a one-on-one, like King of the Court type stuff like that, like have them play like 2 dribble max or 3 dribble max or whatever they would do like that.
That wouldn't even be fair.
Would that be fair?
KD's gonna win it. Like I don't think anyone.
Yeah. KD would probably win it, or Melo could still win it.
Yeah, Melo too.
Giannis.
2
He only dribbles twice.
Giannis.
That's all he needs.
Yo, Luke could probably win that shit too.
Or Chris Paul.
Like you've seen the videos of Booker doing that in the USA camps.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They play like that. How they always like KD and they were playing just one-on-one, just like that, where they catch it in the post, and I guess they have 2 or 3 dribbles from there. And KD is unguardable. You can't. It's so cheap.
He's got to miss. You got to wait for him to miss.
You can't like to be a player like that is corny, man. That's to me. Like guarding him, this is why trying to guard him because this doesn't work.
Yeah.
But it's crazy to me. No, he's unguardable. Like he considers him like the best player.
Wait, what?
But like if you think about it, no one considers him like one of the best players ever. Like, you know.
Yeah, someone do.
KD.
They don't consider him one of the best players ever?
No, like you got him in your top 5 right now?
Of all time?
Yeah.
KD?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Really?
He might be there.
Yeah.
Really?
He might be there now.
For us, we're not gonna put. It sucks, but we're not putting Wilt Chamberlain. You know what I mean? I've never seen them play. Bill Russell and stuff like that. I don't know.
Kareem.
I don't know.
Yeah. But
like
okay, so no order. LeBron, Jordan,
Kobe,
right? So that do we agree on those 3? No order, just those 3 being in there.
Yeah.
Damn.
It's like with Kobe, he's Jordan, so like I don't know. But yeah, I guess.
Okay, so Jordan, LeBron. Let's start with this. Jordan, LeBron. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Damn, there is a lot of players.
How do you not put Kobe in there?
I'll always have Larry. in there.
Now that you say that, like, he is Jordan, so like we're basically the same player, so you can't not have him in there if you think about it. But like a lot of people don't have him in their top 5.
They don't. Some people I don't think even have him in like top 10, which is insane to say.
But, KD, right?
No, Kobe.
Kobe.
Oh, yeah, people don't have
Kobe, like you said, Brandon. Kobe is Jordan.
Yeah, a lot of don't have him in top 5. Like I see him in top 10s all the time, like somewhere down 8 or 6 to 8. Like, he's definitely in the top 10. If you want to argue with me that he's on the top 5, I guess. But
you would put Larry Bird. So Larry Bird's better than KD. Like better than I don't care about winning. I know winning and stuff like that, but I mean better than KD. Is he better?
Say like, oh Larry, you guys all sleep on Larry Bird. Like he was one of the best. I'm like, imagine Larry Bird trying to guard LeBron or
yeah, I mean, I'm not even trying to hate on it.
Like I said, I've made this point before. I can't believe we watched Dirk get buckets in the NBA for years and fuck guarding because that doesn't matter, right? Nobody play defense anyway.
That's
and
right.
you watch Dirk get buckets in the NBA for years, and
true.
It's here to say Larry Bird can't get buckets.
You're right. Because I think he was better than Dirk.
He was going up against athletic people. I don't know why we think the 80s weren't.
Yeah, but Dirk was 7 foot and could fade.
Yeah,
Larry Bird was 6'9" and could do everything.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know. Put LeBron on Bird. It's just.
I mean, Dominique Wilkins was guarding him all the time.
So let's go back to this. So Larry Bird, who's going to agree with it? Larry Bird's better than KD. Like I can't believe you would say that, Austin.
No, but people
Who's
will
more skilled?
do that.
Well, let's go back to that. Who's more skilled, Larry Bird or KD?
Hey.
Because Larry Bird, you know what's funny? I don't think we've all seen I've never really seen a regular game of him, like him playing. I've seen highlights. I've never seen.
This is the hard part, right? You're talking about the 80s where like the skill stuff you see today is not the same, right? They're not doing the same types of moves. So when you talk about greatest players, it's hard. You almost have to go by decade. You have to go by those time periods because the 80s were way different than the 90s. Then, you can compare, let's say, like the T-Max, right? Or like those eras to now because that was similar. Yeah. And the 90s and 80s you could probably do. But when you talk about 80s to now, it's not even close because the athleticism is so different.
Completely different.
I don't think it's any different. Like, I don't think let me clarify what I'm saying is not the athleticism. I don't think it's different. They just didn't use it the way they use it today. Like they're still like ridiculous freak athletes in the 80s. It's absurd to say there wasn't. They just didn't play the same way.
I think there were less though. I'd say there was less.
Probably definitely less, but just because they use it the way they use it today doesn't make them less athletic than the players today. Like the game looks different. They played differently, but they were still athletic.
So what's your definition of skills? Like, what's skills? When people say, is he more skilled? What's more skilled mean?
Ball handling, shooting.
Does
it look better? Are you saying does he look better as a player? Does his moves look better than him?
Yeah, like Kyrie's moves look far better than Steph Curry's, and I just can't imagine that. I still can't wrap my head around people saying that Steph Curry's better than Kyrie. But I'm not going to tell anybody about it, but it's Wait,
you don't think Steph Curry's better than Kyrie?
Why is he better? Because he can shoot. Better, yeah, exactly.
Why is he better? Because he can shoot better.
Yeah, but Kyrie can shoot too, and Kyrie dribbles. I can't.
Okay, so does one outweigh the other? Because Steph can shoot better, Kyrie can finish better. So does one outweigh one, or is it like?
Yeah, exactly what Park's doing.
Threes are worth more than twos.
So Klay Thompson is the greatest player.
No, I'm just saying when you're talking about Kyrie versus why is Steph better? Because Steph's a better shooter.
Because the reason I say that is because even though Klay Thompson might be a better shooter than Bradley Beal or McCollum to me is better than him. I take McCollum over him.
CJ's tough.
CJ's better. His game is.
I think CJ's better because he does more. So why is it not the same with Steph Curry and Kyrie?
That's a great point, Austin.
Wrap my head around.
I feel like Steph does just as much while he doesn't.
Yeah, you're making it seem like Steph just catches and shoots.
No, I guess I am making it seem like that, which I know that's not all he does, but
like Klay Thompson, if you guys want to be honest, I don't know how honest you want to be. But low-key, Klay Thompson has no skill. All he does is shoot, and he shoots at the greatest level, but he can't do anything else.
Oh, yeah.
Every time he drives to the basket, if he gets cut off, game over for his drive.
I guess that's
true. He has no moves. So that's why I say, even though CJ McCollum can't shoot as well as Klay, I know he's giving me a bucket. If I give you the ball, CJ's going to give me a bucket.
CJ's more skilled, but CJ can still shoot too.
And that's what I'm saying. He shoots good enough for me. That's good enough for me. But
like you said, go down the categories, right? You got to go down the categories like ball handling, counters, attacking the hoop, shooting, finishing. Like you've got to go because it's almost like being graded, right? Because the average will come out different. Because Klay will be like, what does he do on counters? What does he do in attack? Like it would be like a 5. You know what I mean?
Okay. So then, low key, LeBron is not skilled. Or is LeBron skilled?
He's skilled.
He's skilled because of his IQ.
Yeah. He has no moves. He really.
Or like Brandon said, I was texting Brandon right there. I said that's the best move I ever seen LeBron making his life. It was like between his legs and behind his back real quick. It looks stiff.
When he does that, yeah,
he got
used to be a dribble
to Miami. He like got real husky and like lost all of his ball handling.
No, he can ball handle. He's just not a breakdown. He's not a breakdown guy. He's a go-to guy, right?
Have you ever seen him do a crossover? I've never seen him do a crossover. I swear I've never seen LeBron do this. I've never seen him go right to left and cross somebody. He does the push. All he does is that push over, but he never crosses nobody. I've never seen LeBron do any crazy move. Like I'm not even saying he has to do like a sham guy, but damn, LeBron
like some Kyrie, but like 1-on-1, you're not gonna see him hit you with like between cross. He's not doing that.
Tween. Like, yeah, it's not happening.
Someone said during the bubble, I think LeBron went to the basket and I missed the layup or something. And the next day on Twitter, like people were arguing the foul call, and someone was like, maybe if LeBron had anything else in his bag other than a stiff arm, he would have scored. Like, he doesn't. Like he has nothing in his bag. He doesn't.
You're right.
Klay is an excellent defender. I agree.
He's sitting next to me saying that.
But this is LeBron. LeBron has no.
Won't be when he comes back.
Oh yeah. Will Klay be a good defender when he comes back?
Yeah.
What? Well, what did he do? He did ACL, both ACLs, right?
No, ACL and then Achilles. You should know.
And 2 opposite legs, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, but
you heard what Park said? Park throwing in shots? You should know. Yeah. So everybody who's tore their Achilles can feel like the pain from somebody like, damn, Austin just tore his Achilles. I can feel it in mine.
Yeah. I talked to one of the coaches I coach with. He graduated high school with Klay, so he played with him. And I just asked him how he was doing. He said he's ahead of schedule with the recovery.
That sucks.
I hope he comes back from.
He was feeling good because he came back from the ACL and he was like, I've never felt so good. I've never been jumping so high. Because he had time off. He had all that time off, and he brought up a good point because Golden State kept going back to back finals. He said you basically played a whole nother season because of the playoffs. Sure. So he's like, you finally get to rest, and he's like, you feel good. But then freak accident, he tore his Achilles, but he'll be back. I mean, he's still young.
The good thing about him, like we were saying, is that he doesn't take a lot to score. Like he's a catch and shoot and like minimal dribbles, minimal moves. So it's not like
you're gonna have a long career as long as he does that. I mean, he could play. He'll be sitting there playing with Bronny for years to come.
That's the thing. If you can shoot, you can prolong your
career. You could go for even. You know what's funny? Low key, if y'all notice what Vince Carter did, Vince Carter literally turned into a shooter. That's why he played for so long.
So did Kobe. So did Jordan. Though while they weren't shooting threes, they became shooters. They became mid-range guys. That's what you got to do. That's what you got a long career.
That's why people like Iverson and like how I think Westbrook's gonna go down the same path. Like people like that. Who don't adapt and like change like that, they're just gonna. As soon the NBA can't wait to get people like Westbrook out of here. Westbrook is just too good now, but once he loses it, they're kicking him. They're like, get out, you done.
Yeah.
What you saw it like guys like Dominique Wilkins, right? Like he just as soon as he lost that athleticism, I think he tore his Achilles or something like that.
He did the same thing. Yeah.
He was done. He was done.
Mm-hmm.
Even Isaiah did the same thing. I think Isaiah Thomas did the same. The first Isaiah Thomas.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Because he was never a good shooter. Isaiah Thomas was never a good shooter.
Yeah.
He was a quick guard, and when he lost that, it's over.
So how is LeBron? This is I'm gonna answer my own question after I said this. But how is LeBron able to be 36? Never had, knock on wood, any crazy type of injury. Still, I seen the other day video of him trying to dunk on somebody. Still, like play like this, play at such a high level. He's taking something. He's on steroid. He is. Don't quote me and don't sue me, LeBron, for saying stuff like this. But this is not normal things that you're doing. Cause it makes no. And he was like, he spends so much money on health. And said, damn that. No, to not ever get hurt and then you still play. Like it's hard for. I was talking to the point like. After I play, I'm out for like a week. My back is there, stuff like that. And I know I don't have the greatest trainers and stuff like this, but man, how does his body able to go through? And he went to the finals. How many times? 8 years, 7 years in a row?
8 years.
Bro.
Yeah.
10 times total. LeBron's a metahuman. That's the only answer, really.
Wasn't he in Men in Black, right? He was in Men in Black. Isn't he an alien?
He's one of those people.
Yeah, exactly.
It makes no sense how he could play like this. And now I think he's like right under 30. I mean, right under 40% from three. So he's like hitting threes now.
Right. I said he's getting more efficient. Like you were talking about how KD's getting more efficient. How did he get more efficient? I feel like LeBron's getting more efficient.
So would you want to go to the finals that many times and lose? Or would you just be like, I'd rather just lose early and just get me out of here?
I always say, like, why wouldn't you want to, like, why? Because I keep losing the finals. Like, let's not make the finals anymore. That doesn't make sense. Like,
you have a shot to win it. Like, keep going.
The goal of the NBA is to win a championship, right? You can't win a championship without being in the finals. Like, it's like when people make fun of LeBron's finals record, it's so absurd.
It's so stupid.
How could you? He's 3 high. He's 3-6. Well, 4-6 now. But like, yeah, that's funny. Yeah, he went to the finals 10 times. Hilarious.
It's like it's never been done. And it's not like he's just like one of those guys that just got on a team and got lucky and he's like, he won a championship because of that, like a Robert Horry, right? He's literally leading them to the finals every single time.
Dragging them there. Cleveland literally dragged them there year after year. Dragged them. It like the last year he was in Cleveland, like that team was terrible.
Oh my God, that roster was atrocious.
And they still had that's the one where what's the name? That's J.R. Smith, right? That was the J.R. Smith one.
Yeah. In the finals when he went off,
they still had a chance because if they beat them, what are they? They're up 2-1, right? If they beat them,
if they won, they would win
game 1. That was the game 1, right? 1-0.
That was a pivotal game 1.
Yeah, if they win that game, series goes.
If they win that game, I might not say Cleveland's gonna win, but this is going 7, 6, 7. Yeah, long. This is gonna be a long series.
The second that happened, I was like, the series is over.
As soon as it happened,
the only way they had a chance in that series was to win that game and take that momentum from Golden State.
Yep.
And you probably lose game 2, but that's fine. You're not gonna get 2 in Golden State. You go back to Cleveland, you're winning Cleveland. Like that was, and your series that would have won 7, easily if they won that game. I don't think people understand that.
Really so how do you feel about like the players doing this, like being able to kind of dictate like where they want to go, like James Harden dictating? Like, how do you feel? Like, do you like? I like power, like because you know how ownership and how that is. They're quick to throw you out.
You gotta control your career.
I don't care. Like James Harden is hilarious. When I saw him, how he looked on Houston, this guy, he was taking 10 shots a game. It's like the little kid who has like who's mad temper tantrum like in the corner and just I want food, like it's just mad. He's just like a little baby like this, and then he comes to the nets and gets a triple double with 14 rebounds. I'm like, this guy is hilarious. Yeah. I'm like, he just turning right back to James Harden. But I just like that. You can you can't necessarily control where you want to go, but you can like steer the
dictator,
direction.
sure.
Steer the direction like where you want like the like to end up. Because you know they'll be quick to just throw you. They'll either have you on a losing team forever, or they'll throw you to the Grizzlies or some shit, some stupidness or some
Looks like
nonsense.
they'll treat you guys.
It's a business, like, right? You talk about it's a business. They always say, "Oh, it's a business." They get traded, or whatever, and it's free. You go free agency. But at the end of the day, like, it is a business. But if you can control your destiny, right, then you do that. Doesn't mean that you go about it the way everybody wants you to. It doesn't mean that, you know, again, we criticize KD, but at the end of the day, it's their decision. They got to do what's best for them. So Harden, that situation was never going to work out. I mean, he was done. That team, they were never going to win. They and he was like, let's get. I can get out of the West, and I can go to the East, and I can actually get somewhere, and I can play with high level talent. Why not? I'm not going to sit here and be like, yeah, okay, let's stay in Houston. You got rid of Westbrook, and you gave me John Wall. So you gave me a poor man's version of Westbrook. Like, this is pointless. You know, a guy coming off 2 injuries, what is he going to do? And Boogie, his career is like at a standstill. So you basically want me to carry this team again? I'd be like, screw that. What's the point?
But they won in Kentucky.
Kev, what?
Yeah.
They won, right? Did they win they won the chip, right?
Cousins and
was it called
a national championship?
Yeah, Boogie and them didn't win. They didn't win in Kentucky.
Oh, UConn won that year, 2011, and then the next year was AD and them. They won.
Never mind. Don't mind me. They're losers. Then I was trying to be devil's advocate. Say they're winners.
But still, like I said, yeah,
2010, not my mistake. Duke won that year, but yeah, John Wall and Cousins did not win.
Okay. No.
Oh, wow. I thought they did.
Nah. Nah.
I thought they won. I swear. I thought they
Cal got one national championship with AD, and that's
Yeah.
You got to remember, Harden was putting up like stupid numbers, right? How many 60, 50-point games did he have last season? All to get nowhere.
Yeah.
You know, and they always say he doesn't show up in the playoffs. My man played like 80 games. I'd be dead too.
What do you guys think about that? That's a great point. So what do you think about that? What do you think about that when they say that? Because low key, when it came for the times for, you know how there's those games like the LeBron down 3-2 against the Celtics where he can't, that low key, that might be the greatest game I've ever seen him play. LeBron was on one craziness in the Celtics. Like, I don't know what he was on, but he was on goal. I know he had like 40-something points, but every superstar has like a game like that. And they just say that Harden never has that game. You know what I mean? Even when Chris Paul went down, if he would have pulled out that game 6 victory with like a 40-point triple-double or something crazy, you know?
Yeah.
But he just never like comes through with that. So do you feel like that's like Park said because he plays so much in the regular season? Or do you think he's not built like that? I low-key don't think he's built like that.
I think he's definitely capable. I don't think his mentality is built like that. I don't think
that's what I meant. That's what I mean. I don't mean skill. He can get it whenever, but I just mean mentality-wise. I don't think he's built like that to be like take over. And I don't want to say he's a front runner, but he needs the game to be like, you know what I mean? That he can't be like LeBron, the Kobe's. D-Wade, like players like that can sum it up and just be like, yo, no, tonight we're not losing. Tonight we're just not gonna lose.
Steph was doing in their last
same thing like that. Like, and he just never did that. That's the only thing I have against Harden is like that. And that's why I'd be like, I don't know. I'm iffy with him, but I know he's great, but I just be like,
yeah, you make a good point though.
I'd be like, he's not superstar.
Well, I think that's what separates some of those greatest players, right? The mentality. I feel like D Wade is not known for being like so skilled, such a great shooter, he's known to be a competitor. He's known to be that guy that will just take over at the end just because he wills himself to do it. So, you know, he had that Kobe mentality, that Jordan mentality. So there's a big difference between being the best scorer, the most like elite score or whatever, but at the end of the day, are you that competitor? Are you that one that's going to just go out and get a win at any, you know, no matter what, you know? So I don't know. Yeah, not clutch. There you go. Yeah. There's a clutch gene, but there's also, I think, more than clutch, it's this like
willpower, maybe.
Yeah, just this like desire to like just passion to win. Like you're just not gonna lose. You know, you're just not gonna lose a game. You force yourself through it.
Yeah, definitely.
Kyrie has that.
He had that when they won that dagger that he had over Steph.
Yeah, Kyrie has that. Do you not agree?
Even in that series when him and Brown went off for 40,
people at 40, yeah.
In Game 5, which was a big obviously needed to win that game. Yeah,
like low key, a lot of players. Name you guys tell me who's hitting that three like Kyrie hit to win the championship. Who's hitting that? That's a big ass shot.
Dame.
Yeah. That's cool. And that's why when people hate him, I'll be like, bro, there is a lot of players that you could only count on your hands in maybe NBA history who is making a 3-point step back like that to win an NBA championship. That's like low key crazy. Like that's next level stuff. And that's why I give me 5 players that I know have that mentality, and I'll just figure out how to get them.
As much as I don't like Chris Paul has that.
Thank you. Finally, now Austin has the hat on. Look at come on, man. Like this.
He does. He has that. He has that same mentality. He's got that chip on his shoulder all the time. All the time.
Man,
so
winners, man.
You don't like
see him doing that?
Why you don't like Chris Paul?
Not really.
I just think
the two bottom ones are haters, man. The two bottom. This one on the one on the bottom talk about he flops all the time. Well, Brandon flops too.
Yo, you flop more than anybody.
Calling the pedal.
They all do it. They all do it.
But he's extra. Like he takes it to the next level.
Brandon is the biggest flopper on earth.
That's what I argue with him about. That's what I'm arguing with him about.
Kev was a flopper too. Kev would fall on the ground, lay on the ground for 5 minutes, act like he was going to die, and then get up and shoot free throws and miss them.
The best
because Kev was like so lazy back in the day. He just wanted to lay there and get a rest.
The best one to do it to was Brandon. Brandon would get so mad because Brandon loves defense.
Back in the day, yeah.
Brandon,
you know how many times when we're in the Muslim League, right? And Kev would just fall to the ground and not get up.
Just not get up.
Why?
Oh, because he's a soccer player. That's why.
It's
soccer.
Very true.
Austin, you know what's funny? I'm not even gonna lie. I think that's what it comes from. Is that soccer was my first sport, and I think it's just
you used to do it all in soccer too.
That's accepted in soccer. That's a
he
part
used
of
to do it in soccer.
What you do it in soccer?
Oh,
so I think it just it's always been a part of me just to get that little, you know what I mean? If you touch me, I'm going down.
I vividly remember Kev he was left wing at the top, and he was running and he was going to score a goal, and he got pushed or something. And he laid on the ground. I'm not even kidding, for like 10 minutes. We were just everyone had to take a knee, so we're all sitting there waiting for him. He gets up, and then he scores 3 goals.
It's just soccer in him.
I'm like, yeah, yep.
That's funny. Brooklyn about to lose again, yeah.
I'm about to end this off. Are they losing?
Yeah.
What's it end? Is it what the fourth quarter?
Yeah.
Right, so everybody, so let's go through
where's your 5? Where's your 5?
Say again.
Do your 5. Who is your 5? Kev didn't even finish.
Yeah,
yeah. So we'll do our 5. Then we'll pick our who we think is gonna go to the finals and win the finals, and we'll call it.
Right.
So I'll go Chris Paul. So no position, just my 5. Chris Paul, LeBron, KD. Damn, my team is cheap. You know what? Damn, I got Steph. Oh, this is so hard. There's so many. I just have to. I'll pick the best team. So Chris Paul, LeBron, KD, Jokic, and AD. That's my squad.
I'm going Steph, Harden, Bron, KD, AD.
Harden. Wait, say that again, Brennan.
Steph, Harden, Bron, KD, AD.
That's a good squad.
Yeah. Oof.
You want to go, Park?
No, go ahead.
I'm gonna go Dame, Kawhi, LeBron, AD, and Jokic.
Dame, Kawhi. Say it again. Dame, Kawhi,
LeBron, AD, and Jokic.
AD, and Lucas. All right.
Go.
You like Kawhi like that?
Defensively, yeah. If I'm gonna make a team, I'm gonna pick Kawhi.
Let's go, Nico Mannion. I'm just kidding.
I'm a big
Nico Mannion.
No, so if I feel like Brandon's is that's like the obvious to me. That's obvious. I would probably go that route. So let's go. I think the three you have to go with is LeBron, AD, and KD.
Yeah,
just because of the way they are, right? And then it's hard to deny Steph because he's so dynamic. Like, just the shooting is so crazy.
But what, like also once you go with those three, you can put Dame there.
I know you I was actually think I'm gonna go Damian. I was gonna go Dame Lillard. I was gonna go Damian Lillard. I would probably go. Yeah. I think I would go Steph and Dame.
I like it.
Yeah.
Only thing I did was take out Harden. That was it. Just switch Harden out.
So Fitzstem said Kawhi, Steph, Giannis. He said Giannis. We all hated on Giannis.
He's next, man. He's on my.
Giannis? Yeah, Giannis.
He's just so dominant. He's just so like when you have other shooters, he's just so dominant.
With those players,
they're gonna guard him in the paint. They're gonna play in the paint and leave him mad open. He's trash. I'll be like, bro, you just.
He could be a decoy, man. It's like saying Shaq, like just put Steph and Clay and Damian Lillard and somebody else out there. KD, it's crazy.
You're right. If he's on my team, if I'm coaching him, he got to learn how to shoot something. You got to shoot at least.
He used to be able to shoot.
At least with
a mid-range game and just shoot over people.
Yeah, Jesus, just shoot. You don't even have to go to three. Yeah, don't have to shoot. D Wade didn't shoot threes. Just shoot.
Skyhook.
Something. He just has no offensive skill set besides 1-2 dribbles to get to the rim.
Euro dunk.
All right, so Brandon, who's your final team? Who's winning?
Lakers.
I just don't see the Nets being able to defend for 7 games against the Lakers. I just don't see it.
So Lakers in 7? Or you just saying not even gonna go there?
Maybe 6. I would say Lakers in 6.
That's a great finals, man. That's so fun to watch. Lakers, Brooklyn, that'd be great.
The game slows down, and you're gonna have to. It's gonna be a close game. They're gonna need to get the stops.
I think AD punishes.
I'm just trying to think of like the matchups that's gonna be in the end. Like who's gonna be in the game at the end. Like with that, I'm just trying to think of both teams and who's gonna play against each other. Because who's gonna guard Harden? Who's guarding Harden? Levert? Not Levert. Caldwell Pope.
Yeah.
So who's guarding Kyrie?
Could be that too.
Dennis Schroeder, yeah.
I mean, he played D though, so
Dennis Schroeder definitely guard Kyrie. I mean, he can't guard Kyrie, but like he can guard Kyrie.
Yeah. I just don't know. And then really cancel each other. It's just like.
But who's guarding AD? That's my thing.
No one.
No one's guarding. Yeah.
That's the problem.
That's what I'm saying. So who's KD guarding, LeBron or AD? Who would they like? Who?
He can't guard AD because they'll punish him down low.
Yeah,
he's not strong enough.
I don't know. I don't even think KD would guard LeBron. I don't think they put him on LeBron either. I don't see the point.
He has to guard one of the two because they're gonna play small.
He'll have to.
AD is gonna probably be the center.
Yeah. What come playoffs? He's
gonna be the center. So I can see Brooklyn going small too and having KD at the center and putting like.
Brooklyn really doesn't have a choice but to go small.
Yeah, I mean they played small ball the other day. They had Jeff Green at the 5.
Yeah, Jeff Green at the 5. Oh yeah, Jeff Green.
Yeah, Jeff Green guarding Durant, guarding
AD. Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
that's,
I hope
Durant didn't even play tonight. Durant didn't play.
Yeah,
That's not it.
did.
Kyrie got 38.
All right. So Austin, who's yours?
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to say the Suns will be in the NBA Finals, but realistically, definitely Lakers, Brooklyn, and Lakers in 7. I'll stick with that.
All right, we're all going with chalk here. Park. We're going with the chalk.
Oh,
Nobody
that's
pleases the Celtics?
you're saying who do we want or who do we think is going to be there?
Oh, yeah. If it's want, that's different for me. But go ahead,
Well,
Park.
I mean, who we want. I mean, I would want who.
I just
I
want
mean,
the Suns to make the playoffs. At least.
Who?
I want the Suns to make the playoffs.
They're gonna make the playoffs.
I hope they do that, Brandon.
They ain't gonna win it, but if they make it, that's a good start.
Bro, they're getting the first round. Yeah, they're getting the second round.
Who do you think is going to make the finals? I don't know. Who do you
Thinking
want?
is hard. I mean, because it could be, that's a harder guess. Who you
For me,
want is
I
easy
want
because
the
you guys,
Suns.
everybody, I think everybody's going to say, "Oh, I want to see Lakers. I want to see LeBron versus
No, I think
KD or whatever."
All right, so my answer, I think it's going to be the Clippers. I think the Clippers are going to beat them. I think it's going to be the Clippers. I think it's going to be Clippers Nets. I think it's going to be, and I think the Nets are going to win. They're going to beat them. But if you're asking me what I want Suns, duh. But Suns ain't no damn finals unless they get somebody. If we got Melo, trade for Melo and
I
get a big.
So I want Lakers Nets, right? I think that everybody wants that because it's like that's what the NBA would want. But I think the other part of it would be I don't want to see let's see the Lakers lose and let's see the Clippers and then Sixers or even I think it might be the Clippers and the Heat again, honestly.
Clippers and the Heat?
The Heat defensively are a tough team.
Yeah.
And offensively, they've got shooters. Jimmy Butler has that same mentality, right? He has that same kind of D Wade mentality, right? So, I mean, he willed them to get into the playoffs. It's tough. It's a toss-up between I think the Sixers, Celtics, and Miami as to who's going to go against Brooklyn if they can keep it together. But Brooklyn, I feel like Brooklyn's still missing some pieces. They don't have everything they need because they need a deeper bench.
100%.
So did LeBron for 12 years, but he somehow did it.
Yeah. But I think you've got too many teams on the East that have defensive. They have defensive mentalities and they also have deep benches. So like the Celtics have a deep bench.
Yeah.
Miami has a deep bench. So I don't know about the Sixers. I don't know what they can do, and I think they fall apart in the whatever. But I don't know. Toronto's not terrible too, right?
I just think at the end of the day, I think we all can agree that KD is a cheat code. And when you have a cheat code on your team like that, it just is unfair because
it's really hard.
Yeah. You can do stuff that you, as a coach, you like. Okay, we got this defensive plan is all good, and then he just goes out and does crazy. You're like, how do you guard that? You can't do nothing against that. And now he has a team where you can't stack up against him because now he has 2 other good ass players too. It's kind of cheap a little bit. It's low key cheating, but like you said, the only thing that can mess them up is, like you said, if they don't get a bench and for some reason they just don't want to play together or they get selfish or whatever. But other than that, I mean, I don't see Steve Nash does not have to coach. He just sits there.
Yeah, he don't really.
It looks like he's coaching soccer. The soccer coaches don't do shit.
I know. I was gonna say, what do you guys think of him? Do you think he's actually coaching, or is he
Steve Nash
just there to manage personalities? Or
I think Steve Nash wants to go back to analyzing the Champions League. Yeah,
Steve Nash is just. I've yet to see him talk. Go ahead, Brandon. Sorry, I haven't seen him.
He didn't make any adjustments against Colin Sexton the other night, so.
Yeah, I haven't. But I'm yet to see him say nothing or talk.
Steve Nash didn't play defense. How's he making adjustments?
I wouldn't put Kyrie on him.
Yeah, that was wrong. That was the first.
And then isn't Mike D'Antoni the assistant coach?
Is he?
Yeah.
Yo, that's
Yo, bro, they're not playing no defense
they're
forever.
definitely not playing any defense, bro. And Amari's on the staff.
Oh my god! You might as well get Barbosa. Just get everybody. Just get how to play.
06.
Get Joe Johnson. Get Joe Johnson up here. Just figure out how you just play.
Oh
man! All right, guys. Now this was great. Do y'all have anything y'all want to plug or say or anything I'll do? I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna link it. Do you want to follow you any? I know Brandon, you do Twitter a lot. I don't see you on nothing else but Twitter. Yeah, he just has a Twitter feed. Twitter is actually very addictive.
It's the best.
Yeah,
you can Twitter.
I'm shaking. I haven't been on Twitter in this 2
Park,
hours.
I don't know how Park is not on Twitter. Twitter is hilarious, man.
I have it. I just not on it. I just don't.
It's the best.
You gotta get on it. Park.
The new wave is the what's the name? Bernie Sanders sitting down. When I see all the stuff they put him on the bench with, yo, that jug is hilarious. People come up with the stupidest things.
Yeah.
Every day I'm on Twitter, there's something new that is just like, this is incredible artwork. But Austin, for you too, is it Twitter too? I think that's more for you on, right?
Definitely Twitter.
Yeah. And then Parker, for you, I'll be your IG.
Yep.
We'll promote it. All right, guys, man, this was fun. We didn't even really talk about Brooklyn, Dave. We talked about Brooklyn for like 10 minutes.
They're all offensive.
All offense, no defense.
We knew that was gonna happen. We were gonna go off anyway.
Yeah, facts. So as the season goes on, I know there's gonna be like crazy time. Like I don't even think they're doing an All-Star game. That's what me and Park talked about. I don't even think they're doing an All-Star game this year or something like that, or they delayed it or something. I don't know.
There's no weekend, I don't think. There might be a game. I think there's a game.
Oh, okay, just not no weekend. But yeah, the next big thing, whatever happens, we'll see a couple weeks from now. We'll give the Nets a couple weeks, see how they are, see what happens, see how far they've come, see what they've done, and see all that good stuff. But other than that, we'll do this again, and then we'll do this like a monthly update, a monthly NBA update. We'll do something like that. Seriously, do something like that where we just come on and just whatever the new news is for the month, we'll do it for it. So we'll do something. Actually, you know what? I'm lying. We might do something for I want to do something for next week for Kobe. Even though it's not going to be on Kobe's day, but I just want to do something on some Kobe stuff. I feel like there's a lot to talk about Kobe, and it's a good thing. I think he transcends more outside of basketball, so there's a lot to talk about outside of basketball. But all right, guys, thank you to Austin, to Brandon, to Park. Thank you guys for joining in the live. It was super, super fun. Till next time, thank you all for watching. Thank you all for the support. And we are out of here. About to watch the Nets. Are they winning or losing?
It's over.
It's over. Oh, this is trash. Never mind. Forget what I said. Peace.